Hey everybody, Shane here, daily-astrocat.com, and today is Sunday. It's the 29th of March. So let's go astrology time, right? Yeah, we got some astrology for you. Look, the moon's going to be in Leo. It's going to be void of course at 1:28 p.m. It's going to enter Virgo at 3:33 p.m. There you go. There's your 3:33. British summertime starts today. So welcome to East Coast time there, England. Britain. Okay, so yesterday should have shown you a thing or two. Now, I don't know if you're due for a haircut or a slight self-image upgrade. I might be due for a haircut, tell you the truth, because it's starting to get a little right here. So, maybe you need to pull out the spring clothes and find a few that make a statement. How about that? This is Leo stuff, to be sure, right? Yes, how we look, how we present. Investors, look, you're going to be pondering some opportunities to try to leverage when the market's open, because you're going to be spending some time going through some things, looking for opportunities, because everything was so down on Friday, like was predicted, right? You could sense that. You could sense that coming. So, the rest of us, look, we're going to be flirting with our muses, or perhaps just plain flirting. Who knows? Let's make flirting today's keyword, shall we? Now, got something for you guys. A Spotify listener wrote the following: through the doing, you cannot achieve being. Being needs to be discovered, not achieved, one day at a time. Being in the now is the most productive moment of your day. Now, I like that. Leave me a comment below and let me know if this jives with what you think of Daily Astrocat's all about, okay? Because I think that we do represent that in some respects, right? But we're also more about practical things you can do for yourself. Creative energies, right? That's what we're really about. We're about empowering creative people to do their best creativity, to capture the moods and stuff like that, and go with them. That way it helps you create better. Okay, so our color is Verdigree, and, it's that little greeny, bluey, coppery thing when it gets old. So some degrees of swagger are beginning to return as we prepare to leave March and enter April. Baseball season is underway, and that is a different kind of vibe. So much for the madness, right? March Madness basketball, right? Mars is conjunct Pallas Athene, and that gives off a very intuitive warrior kind of vibe, in a way, knowing when to thrust, when to parry effectively. We anticipate both actions, right? We know that. That's an intuitive thing. That's that warrior reflex, right? That's a good way of describing this energy, being able to anticipate those actions and the feints and the blows and stuff like that. This is occurring in the last decanate of Pisces. Now, what is a decanate, Shane? Decanates divide the signs by 10 degrees. So there's a first, second, and third decanate to every sign. In Ptolemaic astrology, the decanates, or decans, are subdivisions of each zodiac sign, 3 per sign, 36 total, based on Egyptian tradition. Ptolemy, he often followed the Chaldean triplicity systems. Try saying that 3 times fast. Triplicity systems. That's the 3 things. Assigned a secondary ruler to each, refining the sign's energy. The first decan is ruled by the sign's ruler, whereas it's followed by the next 2 signs in the same element. In this particular case, there's other systems of these that diverge from that, but this is the most rudimentary way of understanding it. So it gives it a little bit of a different feel, right? So think about it. Think about this. In this case, Mars is at 20 degrees Pisces, right? Entering the third decan. That's ruled by Mars. That's the area ruled by Mars. That's considered Scorpio, right? Because that would be the third element. So what have we got? Well, actions taken from now until Mars leaves Pisces are going to have great effect, great power, right? And they'll be extremely wise because of that conjunction with Pallas Athene in the overall scheme of things. I like that. Now, the moon entering detail-oriented Virgo at 3:33 p.m. is a wake-up call to anyone who's missing out on this shift of energy in the Aries season. We're changing, right? We're creative. We are guided. We're getting towards to where we need to be. Now, let's take a moment to think about this. This is where we begin taking names and making lists. That's right. taking names and, all the things, all those cliches, right? Now, these are active to-do lists. Broad actions previously taken have freed us up to begin to work on a few details. This is necessary to keep things flowing. Lost details, those can hamper us, right? Look, precisely follow up on anything promised. Deliver the goods. Don't flirt with your prospects. Take action and secure the deal. This applies everywhere, across the board. Doesn't matter what it is. Seal the deal. All right, so secure the deal. There we go. And after the moon enters Virgo, she has no aspects until tomorrow afternoon. This is an opportunity to crank out some work of superior quality. It's the vibe, right? That Virgo vibe. It's a earth energy, right? Mutable earth energy. We're ready for just about anything. We can work on just about anything. Remember, health. Okay, be detailed, be precise, and caring. Health is another Virgo area that we can focus on. Make sure you are keeping hydrated and step away from distractions such as drugs or alcohol. Wash and soak your feet in Epsom salts to assist your lymphatic system and help lymphatic health and detoxify your entire system. And that is pretty good advice. So in 1974, Chinese farmers discovered the Terracotta army near Jian. 8,000 clay warriors, their statues really, buried to guard the tomb of China's first emperor. Shall we just call him Qing Shui Huang? Yeah, I think Qing Shui Huang is good. Okay, Huang. Can't get the Huang but down part down. Okay, and in 1561, our birth is Santorio Santorius, or Santorio. He is a Venetian physiologist and physician. Now, he's credited by some by inventing the thermometer, but we're going to get into that. He's born in Venezia. Actually, he was not born in Venice. He's born in present-day Croatia, but he died in Venice. He was a physician in Venice, so he was not born in Venezia, but he lived there, and that's where he did his work. And he died in 1636. He was a contemporary of Galileo, actually met him, and he applied some of those scientific principles that Galileo's famous for to physiology and the study of metabolism. Okay, so let's talk about the thermometer, shall we? Because, look, it goes through several different iterations, and Galileo was the first one that did the Galilean thermometer, that air thermometer that shows changes in pressure, although it lacked a standardization scale and was affected by barometric pressure or air pressure. Sanctorius, he applied a numerical scale to Galileo's device, and turned it into a thermometer to measure human body temperature. Fernando de Medici developed the first sealed liquid in glass thermometer, which was not influenced by air pressure. And the thermometer, as we know it, with that little mercury in the tube, the sealed glass tube, was actually done in 1714 by Daniel Gabriel Fahrenheit, who invented that first reliable thermometer using mercury in a sealed tube. And that is what fascinates me, and that is what I have for you for daily-astrocat.com. What fascinates you? Put it down below. Leave me a comment. I love comments. Comments fell off the last couple of days. I got some nice birthday ones, and then hardly anything yesterday. So let's keep the comments rolling. I like to have I like having conversations with all of you, and that's all I have for you. Let's recap, shall we? Our keyword is flirting, and our color is verdigree. Today's a 7. Thank you so much. Appreciate and love you all. Happy astrocatting.